Hi friends, I'm Aman from Newfoundland, and this time I shall love to share with you use of clicker combining with background knowledge probe and think, pair, share to elicit students' misconceptions. Now this strategy is really to hook the classroom learner. Being a biology instructor, I need the teaching strategies that can promote better learning, attention, engagement, and curiosity in all kinds of students in my classroom as well as during my lab sessions. I appreciate that my strategy achieves the goal of using student-centered learning rather than lecture mode of instruction. My point of view, the first most effective step is eliciting my students' misconception and prior knowledge which can bridge my teaching to their learning. I believe thereby misconceptions are biggest hurdle to filter new knowledge. Eye clicker is the best way to determine students' incoming misconceptions on a topic. The biggest challenge is to read about the facts and misconception in students' brain boxes. Using the prior knowledge tool as background knowledge probe helps me in identification of learning barriers in the beginning, during and end of the class. I am going to share my experience of using combined teaching tools that are background knowledge probe, think, pair, share using eye clickers. How eye clicker really works? Well, it works with any software, hardware, including any brand of interactive whiteboard. It's very easy to download. Question can be asked from application of instructor's choice, that is PDF or PowerPoint or Word or standardized test. Students respond by clicking on eye clicker, remote for their appropriate choices. The wireless remote immediately sends those responses to instructor's receiver. Software automatically logs, stores, and grades each response on iGrader. It gives immediate feedback to instructor and students graphically. It also helps instructor to track the individual or class reports in iGrader even after the class is over. Though this works best in any of the situations, but when to handle a very large class, nothing is more befitting than iClicker with think, pair, share activities. Instructor can pose a question to students that they must consider alone and then discuss with a neighbor before settling on a final answer. This is a great way to motivate students, involve everybody, and promote higher level thinking. Even though the activity is called think, pair, share, this can be suited for small groups, that is about of 3 or 4 students alike. Often this group discussion sharing is followed up with a larger classroom discussion. According to situations and topics, some think, pair, share activities can be short, called quick response think, pair, share, and sometimes the activities may be longer and more involved, extended think, pair, share. The instructor can use the student responses as a basis for discussion to motivate a lecture segment and to obtain feedback about what students know or are thinking. It is easy to incorporate more than one think, pair, share activity in a given class period using iClicker. This works as effectively for undergraduate and graduate student classes, laboratories, as they do for K-12 students with small or larger classes. One of the biggest challenge of think, pair, share is to get all students to truly be engaged. This is the stage when iClicker comes handy, making all inquisitive minds to participate without any hesitation, as they know their answer will be anonymous. So we can say mindsets seem to be only limitation, as it can be cost effective in buying the clicker hardware, replacing the lost clicker. New mobile technology concerns the instant feedback feature, which some lecturers found distracting as they talk to the class. This issue can also be addressed and handled by having the messages saved at time and not displayed in the class. Before class preparation is one-time job, generally easy and takes short amount of time. The personal interaction motivates students who might not generally be interested in classroom discussions. We can frame and ask different kinds and levels of question in single lecture. It engages the entire class and also allow quiet students to answer questions without having to stand out from their classmates. We can assess students' understanding by listening in on several groups during the activity and by collecting responses immediately. The fluid nature of group formation makes this technique very effective and popular for use by instructors of especially larger classes. Full class discussion is generally more fruitful. It improves students' comfort level and willingness to participate throughout a class period. It is an example of software that has found an important niche in improving the learning and teaching assessment goals of education. It overcomes any hurdle instructor faces while handling larger classes. In addition, teachers have found the report reporting and assessment functions of software to be very useful in identifying the weaknesses and strengths of individual students, classroom groups, faculty, lectures and lessons, and the curriculum as a whole. Let me take an example. If I have to teach about viral disease hepatitis to pre-medicine students of 60 together in a class using background knowledge probe, combining with clicker and think, pair and share, then how wonderfully this technology will work. I can pre-frame all the set of variable essential questions which suggest inquiry, require user prior knowledge, critical thinking, or to focus on key concepts, or even taking them beyond curriculum outside their classroom. Few background knowledge questions on hepatitis before I go to higher level help my students to effectively inquire and make sense of important but complex ideas, and without any hesitation their responses through clicker help me to understand their misconception or preconception before going into detail. When students enter my classroom, I display a well-designed multiple choice question on a PowerPoint slide that is distracted, that embed common misconceptions surrounding the topic as well as the correct answer. Students are asked to think about the question and select the answer on their individually assigned clicker at the first place. As students submit their answer, the responses are visible to me on my e-grader. Then I use think, pair, share, a three-step cooperative structure. Rich discussions typically ensue as I probe the origin of student misconception about hepatitis, allowing me to address them before moving on to higher level thinking about this disorder. Regarding the role of educator, have you ever experienced that at times when we ask a question in class, all we get is a blank stare? Well, if that is the case, clicker is the best strategy to be used combined with think, pair, and best part of clicker is immediate feedback to e-grade and visible through histogram or graphic representation, which I may or may not project to the class. Class is very relaxed during answering, even if they are passive students, because they know answers will be anonymous. Immediate responses exhibited in form of histogram help me to understand how much are they getting what I'm trying to deliver. From learners' point of view is that they have to bring their clickers to their classroom, maintain them, and actively participate during think, pair, share discussion. There is absolutely no ethical or cultural or gender implication because anyone can express their opinion using their clicker anonymously, even if they are shy and do not like to speak in front of larger group. Every student, irrespective of their background, can enjoy and have the safe feeling to the classroom. These are the references which I used during my present session, and these sites are some good examples of use of clicker in the classroom. Thank you for listening. Your feedbacks are welcome.